Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the Fool card tonight. And that is the energy I am here for. I'm kind of jealous it wasn't in my Virgo reading, since I am a Virgo. All right, let's take a look at these tea leaves. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And it's free to subscribe. Okay, so we have a lot of, it looks very beautiful. I want to start here. So we have a person, you can see them right here. Here's the face. It looks like they have like a hat on. It looks like maybe a 4/antenna of some kind. And they are kind of in this kind of bent, maybe squatting position. You can see the leg here. Here's the back and the rump right there. And then you look over. Here's maybe holding something. I was thinking it almost reminds me of maybe like some kind of like blowing bubbles or something. We also have a butterfly right here. And then we have another person over here with their arms out. And then it looks like a lot of, I was thinking it's like a dandelion when you blow the seed pod and all of the seeds go flying and you make a wish. So I almost feel like there is this intense movement towards manifesting and manifesting in many directions. I think that you are in a place where you are very in tune with the subtle of life. And the subtle of life is those in-between places. Not the big events, not the flashiness, not the high happiness or the low sadness. This is the stuff that is woven into the mundane moments. Okay, those little moments where we're like, on lunch break, we're sitting in our car, we're eating a, gas station hamburger or something quietly, listening to the radio or a podcast or something. And you're sitting there and you're not thinking about much of anything. And, suddenly there are these little moments of emotions. There are, daydreams and maybe even little visions that come through imagery, or you start thinking about somebody and it seems very like potent, maybe somebody you haven't thought about in a long time. And then, in the next couple of days, they like reach out to you, but I think that you're in this place where you're really interconnected with that subtle place. And that's really where the sweetness of life is. If we can train ourselves to have eyes to see these in-between places, this is where the real magic is. Okay. And so I feel like you are in tune. I feel like your spirits are lifting. You have less inhibitions about life. And I think that comes through confidence in what you're doing. I feel like you feel very firm in the place that you're at. I feel like you are putting down roots, or you have them and you feel comfortable. You feel at home in your own life. And you're really looking at things. You're stopping and smelling the roses, as they say. And so, because that is the case, I can see that the universe is really working with you. And I think that you are seeing that following the patterns, looking for the signs, symbols, omens, you are able to kind of weave that into something magical and beneficial to your experience, to your path. And I feel that you really must be, quite a practitioner, if you call yourself that or not. Okay. I believe you are a seer. I really look at this and I think this is somebody who, they maybe just feel like, oh, I just read people well. Or, I look at the signs around me and I can see that like something's about to happen. Like somebody that, well, if you're from the Midwest, this works. But if you step outside on a day, where it's like very humid, and then suddenly you start to feel a wall of pressure in the air coming through, the sky turns green, suddenly there are clouds moving in quickly, you might want to get to the basement. Right? And you just know, you don't need to see it on the TV. You can feel it in the air. It's very like an electric feeling. And, so, this is something that maybe most of us are more, we would be tuned into this kind of energy. But I think that it's not unlike that. You see things changing. You see how things are working. You see the signs of what is to come. You have very clear eyes, clear vision, clarity. Okay. And you just feel things. You always have. And I wonder if, that's been something that is very profound in your families. This is maybe like, something passed down through the generations. And so as you are really aligned with this, you are in your power place here. This is like very natural to you. So I can see there is a joyousness, because I can tell that you're putting it to use. You're at this place where you're gonna follow the signs, and you're gonna find your little pot of gold, right? You're gonna hit your jackpot, and you're going to have fun doing it. And that's really the win there, is that you are enjoying your time. You're not just trying to survive the moments right now. You are enjoying your time. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to turn this. And it does look like a heart also up here. Okay, now it's not fully formed, but I feel like there's a lot of love, and I feel that like there's a new love here. This doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, but I do think that there is a sense of like a great friendship, somebody who will feel like family to you. And it might be that this will be a partner or a spouse, or, one of the great lovers of your life. But this is coming together. Okay. And it's being built. And, maybe for the first time in a long time, you are open to bringing somebody into your life. An Aries person is somebody who is very charming, very personable, very thoughtful. You notice things about people and you remember them, and you make people feel very special, because you're really good at noticing things. And but very choosy about who you let into your heart space. On a deep, deep level. Very selective about who you let into your sacred personal life. Your sacred spaces, your personal life. You don't let everybody into your holy temple. Very few people. Okay? So I do think that this maybe will be somebody who, lives up to getting that key, walking through that door into the great hall, and I think that this feels good, but I also think there's some reservation. We have two snakes down here. Okay, so I feel like you've had at least 2 big heartbreaks, and it's been because of people who kind of misrepresent themselves, or maybe somebody who has been very close with you, and suddenly they changed it up. They just became something else. They behaved differently. They maybe absolutely disappeared and just kind of, ghosted, or they actively moved against you. And it was so hard to understand. How could this be? We used to be so close. So I think this happened at least twice. Some kind of big failure of a loyal relationship, a loving relationship. And I think this is really almost made it like where I don't even need people in my life anymore. I don't need to know people. I don't need to have a lot of friends. I don't necessarily want to be with anybody, but this is what happens, right? I've learned to tell myself, don't say never. Because, unless I really want something, because I know the opposite will happen. I used to say, I will never, ever get married. Well, guess what? And, in my mid to late 30s, I never thought I'd have a kid. Look at what happened, basically all the things that I said, nope, not going to happen, probably won't happen. And I don't foresee it. I'm not seeking it out. Well, the universe said, listen here. And so, let's see. Okay, so we have a big turkey. Okay, you can see the body here. It's a male turkey because it's, of course, got that big set of feathers on the back. And then you see the head. It doesn't have the little gobbler. I don't know what that's called. We always call it the gobbler. My daughter's always like, what's that thing on its head? So the turkey, wow. Well, listen, okay, the turkey scares me. First of all, if you've ever been around wild turkeys, they are incredibly aggressive. They can be aggressive. And I'm very short. I'm like 5 foot, a little over 5 foot. And we're the same height, basically. And when they get that tail open, I'm like, get away from me. I don't think that's this. This one is sitting. It looks pretty peaceful. But I do think this is not unlike the fish. This is a sign of abundance. And it's a big, healthy, and showy abundance. And I think that, through your resolve to kind of live your life in your vision, I think that you have been very successful because you have stayed true to self. You've been successful in the ways that are important to you. Okay. And, and I think that as you get into places of, I think really trusting yourself deeply, you are finding ways to add on to the quality of your life. Again, this is very individual to each person. This could mean that you are making money, this could mean that there's money on the way. But this could also be like spiritual life, relationships with your loved ones, the being able to do the things that having time for the hobbies, for your passions, or just living a life that is peaceful. There's an ease to your life. There's not a lot of upset. And I look at how big this is, and it seems like coming into this realm of just being on top of the world, really, and feeling like, very proud of what you have created for yourself, and I think very grateful, which makes it even more sweet. Because if we don't have that sense of gratitude for the work that we've done and the gifts that the universe has given us and the people around us who have helped support us and cheered us on and so on, then it doesn't really mean that much. It's like a hollow kind of win. But I think that, for you, there's just so much enjoyment of where this life has led to, and then also looking forward and thinking there's so much more, there's so much more for me, and looking forward to that, not fearing it so much. And that's an ultimate blessing, really. You can't ask for too many more things in life than to really be able to enjoy yourself and to not be terrified of the future, right? Okay. So we had a V on this one. We have a V right here, and then we have a, we have a V right here. So we have repeating V's. Now we also have 60, 60. So 60 is also an important number. Yeah. So something with a V. We also have a bird coming through. So the bird is the messenger, especially for those who have transitioned. We have the number 3. 3 is important. And the home. I'm trying to think. And I feel like this message comes up sometimes, and I'm always like, what is going on with this? But it is a sense of checking maybe the outer perimeter of your home, checking your doors, windows, making sure they're locked, making sure that there's nothing broken. For some reason, I'm thinking making sure your screens are in securely if you have screens. But just a mention. Usually when I see the frog, I'm like, okay, because the frog for me is the house, one of the household gods, but the one of the outer portals, the doorways and the windows. But this, I think it's almost kind of like grandma coming through or something, making sure that you're locking up, making sure that everything is as it should be. Just checking on that, checking the garage, checking your car. Maybe when you hear this or when you get home, just going over all that stuff and making sure everything is in the right place where you left it. Okay, let's see here. Please don't scratch me, my love. All right, we have the Dreamer's deck, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams. You can tell I'm getting silly. I'm getting towards my last reading. Okay, and I'm going to flip here and stop where it feels right. And it says, I know that my dreams are bigger than my fears. I am going to take risks. I know that my dreams are bigger than my fears. I'm going to take risks. All right. I like that because that's exactly what we're talking. Living without a sense of dread or fear for the future, right? Taking some risks, doing the things that you know that you need to do, that you want to do, that you need to do. All right, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and tell you thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, few days to get back to you and heart them. I try to heart all of them. And I want you to know I do read them. I don't skip over anything. But, you know, there's a lot of them. So it does take some time. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I think that's it. So, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days. TT is over here snoring. She says, thank you. I'm glad that's over. We're going to bed. I'm going to listen to her. She's talked me into it. All right. Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.